Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Been a long time, huh? Well, there it is. Back in the shop. Today, we kind of titled this one Moving On because we've got everything ready. We just got to tweak some few things. Let me kind of show you. Here's the things that we're going to have to tweak. We've got several items on this list that you might be wondering about. Let's go through them. All right, you take a look at this list here and you'll see that we've got quite a few things we're going to get done here. ELF air filter pretty well goes without description. The one that's in there is too long. We've got a shorter one we're going to put on there. We're going to solder that relay that's back there against the firewall. That's the blue and orange line that has the on and run current to it that cuts off when you turn off the engine. That's for the startup solenoid. Throttle bracket assembly, that whole thing, we're going to put all that together. Then we're going to adjust the throttle so that it is 0 on the throttle position sensor throttle, and it is 0 on pulling on the actual throttle, fueling throttle for this 12 valve. Next is we're going to put the wheel well panel back on there. We've got a coolant overflow tank that we're going to put in there for the cycling of the fluid as it expands and comes back in. You know what those are. We're going to do an exhaust gas temperature probe into the exhaust manifold. We're going to install the cruise helper. We're going to secure and insulate any of the wires or hoses that are in there. Also probably going to insulate the exhaust line, the pipe as it goes out. I'll show you the exhaust pipe here in a little bit, the new exhaust pipe. Also, I forgot to put the bullnose bumper that's on there. We're going to put that on. We have a couple of decorative things that we're going to do for the truck. I hope you stay around and see those the next couple of days. Also, we're going to start out with fuel additives, and we're going to do interior lights, and we're going to do backup lights. We may not video all that, but that's all right. You know what we're going to do that. But the two big projects that we're going to be doing is we're going to drop the transmission, and we're going to put in the new torque converter that I'll show you that Larry made for us, and that's going to be in about 2 weeks. So don't get excited right now, but we're going to drop that transmission down. We're going to leave it on the ground, get ready for that installation coming up. Also, the number one project that we got right now is when we brought it back from the shop, from the exhaust shop the other day, it really ran bad. It's like it's missing on 2 or 3 cylinders. And since we know we overhauled those injectors, we know that the injectors are okay. Something has got in there and screwed up, you know, some debris or something has got in there and screwed up 1 or 2. So we're going to pull all 6 injectors. We're going to clean those. We're going to clean out all the lines, and we're going to flush the system a little bit to make sure that we've gotten all the debris. You know, there's not much clearance in those injectors, and so we want to make sure that we've got that all cleaned up, and so it'll run the way it's supposed to run. And once you get the throttle and you get the injectors, the engine ought to be running square, because when we took it to the shop, it ran pretty doggone good. Started having a little bit of trouble on the way there, and on the way back smoked really bad, and was really missing on a couple of cylinders. So we know we've got an injector problem. So we're going to get that fixed. That's going to be project number 1 that we're going to do. We're going to start pulling those injector lines off and get those out today, and stay right there as we start pulling out the injectors and cleaning those out. Okay, well, the first thing you're going to do, of course, is you're going to disconnect your negatives on both of your batteries. If you're running a 2 battery setup, both of them are pulled. Then we're going to loosen up the lines and remove the lines from your P pump. And everything that you pull loose, you got to make sure that you stuff with something so nothing gets in there, because we're going to try it. This is as sterile as you can get to get it done. Okay, so all of the lines are off of all 6 of the injectors here. You see that first one underneath there? There. And the first cleaning that I've done on these is stand these up and blow these out one by one from top to bottom. And this is the first cleanup that we're going to do. And we're going to blow through those one more time before we actually put them back in the engine. It's going to be one of the last things we do. So what you want to do is you want to go from one end of your fuel system to the other end of the fuel system. We're going to start at the P-pump end, and we're going to clean it out the other direction. Then we're going to reassemble it back towards the P-pump. So now I'm going to remove the return line, and after I remove the return line, then we're going to pull each one of the injectors, and we're going to do the injectors one at a time. We're going to pull it off, clean it out, put it back together, put it back in the engine. And if you do those one at a time, then you're running whatever's clogging it, whatever's caused the problem is going to run from one end all the way to the back. So we're going to start at number 6, and we're going to pull number 6 first, clean it, go to 5, 4, thusly all the way back down to the number 1 cylinder. Okay, so we want to make sure everything is already cleaned. Spray the top of these. These are probably we're already sterile. We don't have to worry about it. But put a baggie on top of those, so as I conduct business over here, that we do not wind up getting anything in top of there. I suspect that when I put this thing together, I may have gotten something in there because I did not play as sterile a game as I should have. And I think that's probably what's clogged up my injectors, because that's post filter, and I think that's probably where it got it. All right, now we've got the return line out, and let's take a look at that. Now the return line's semi-fragile, and the reason why is that union right there that goes over the engine and over to the filter, that union right there can break, so be very careful with it. Now you have to, once again, we're going to do this from the distance to the nearest away from the filter back to the filter. So each section, if you look inside there, you see there's a hole inside on either side, and when you put the keeper screw in there, then it goes, the return fuel goes from the end all the way back, and it comes out of that hole into that hole to the next section. Same thing. So you have to start down here, squirting this out section at a time until you get down here at the T. At the T, you have to squirt one way, then the other way, then get down at the far end of it, and then you squirt that back up here, and then back over here, here, back here, and then back down there, and that will clean that out. Okay, so now we're looking at ready to pull the injectors. You can, let me get out of the shadow here so you can see. Each one of the injectors is sitting in there. It's bare. All I got to do is pull off the keeper nut and then put the puller on it, and that's next on the agenda. Okay, this is number 6 here. And if you take a close look at it, you'll see down here, this one was firing. It's got a lot of carbon down here on the end of it. Taking a look at the ring, the copper ring down at the end, it looks like it didn't have anything blowing by it, so it was sealed good. So this one's probably not it, but we're going to go through it. So the collar is on it, came off just fine, the gasket around the top, and of course the entry on top. Let's take a look at the inside of it, and then we'll give you the verdict. All right, guys, this is, I found the problem on this injector, and I don't know if the other injectors have had the problem, but I'm gonna show it to you. This is the order in which they come in, right here. This little collar right here, you make sure to get it in right. Look at my video on rebuilding these, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let me show you what happened here. Let me get this collar off of here. I only have one hand to do this, so excuse me. But I'm gonna pop this nozzle out of here, And you see that pin right there? See that pin? That was stuck. That's right, it was stuck. It was closed. It was not firing at all. Something got in there and wedged it in. Now I've worked it out. You'll see I've got it where it comes out. See that pin right there? That's actually what fires the holes down here. Now let me show you this. I'm gonna pull the needle, I should say. Gonna get that needle out of there. All right, and I'm going to try to shoot this and show you. This is a 5-hole nozzle. This is a 5x11, 145 angle. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to show you the 5 holes that are in here. So I'm going to stick a little of this, cleaner in here, see if we can get it to pop out 5. See there? I'm gonna run that in slow motion so you can see it. Try to get it in the center of the camera a little bit better. All right, let's see if we can see all 5. All right, so that's the way it's supposed to shoot. And what was happening was that this needle right here was in here, but it's supposed to cycle in and out with that spring right over there, right there. But it was in and it was shut. So it was not cycling back out whenever the pressure would come in from the P pump for it to cycle and for it to pop. It was stuck. So that's one of them that was going wrong. I suspect we've got another one in there that's doing the same thing. So that was a problem on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and go through all of them, and I'll let you know how it goes here in just a little bit after we get them all out and give them a look, okay? All right, we're done for the day. We've got 4 out of the 6 done, and kind of let you look how you got to leave this. If you can't get it all done in one day, you want to make sure that you get it all set up right for you to leave. All right, take a look down there. See, each one of those injectors has got a cover on it. Okay, I've done 6, 5, 4, 3, and I like 2 and 1. Still covering up though. Bottom line is here, guys, for today, getting these injectors all cleaned up. Tomorrow I will put all the connections back, the return line, the main injector lines on it. We'll fire it up again, make sure everything's running smooth again. And then if we have any trouble at that point, then we'll look at having a faulty injector of some sort. I should have it cleaned up. But to let you review, that number 6 injector was stuck. And so it was not firing at all. 5, 4, and 3 all look good. Didn't have any trouble with them. They all had carbon down where they're supposed to. Everything looks good. Let's see what 2 and 1 look like. I suspect 1 is going to be my other culprit. I think I was missing on 2 because how bad it was running. And of course, the number 6 and number 1 are the ones that get it succeedingly. And if there was crud in the line, boom, boom, that's the ones that are going to get it. All right, that's what it looks like for today. We'll update you tomorrow when we get some more stuff done right here, Pop's Freebird Report. Thanks a lot, guys.